Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm checking out the JJRC H26WH. Now the W stands for Wi-Fi and the H stands for altitude hold. I wouldn't normally be recommending a Wi-Fi FPV model, however these days they are getting a bit better at it and I can understand the appeal. There's no need to have any FPV gear already, everyone's got a phone, so I guess that is the idea of it. In practice though, you only usually get about 30 meters of range or so out of it, which is the range of your phone. It's literally using your phone's Wi-Fi signal to get the FPV from it. Now the first thing that I notice with this one, and you will probably see, is it's huge, but the box that it comes in isn't huge. And that means that you have to do a lot of assembly. In fact, they give you a hefty screwdriver with it, 3 packets of different screws, and I have to say it probably took me about 30 minutes to get it all up and running. So it's not just something that's going to work out of the box, this one. You literally are just given the quad's frame. You have to install these landing legs, they just push in there. You've got 2 screws that have to go in there for the gimbal, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Of course you have to plug all these wires in for the gimbal as well. You even have to go as far as installing the gears, so there's no gears on it, those push through underneath, and you have to put the propellers on the top, and you've got a little screw there as well, and those get screwed in for all of the propellers. You've got screws up here for the prop protectors. Now I want to talk about that because I usually would not install prop protectors, but these ones aren't really prop protectors. You can see there they come above it, and what they are is fancy LEDs all underneath. You want to see this thing in the dark, it lights up like a freaking Christmas tree, so I want to check that out. So yeah, next thing is the gimbal. So the gimbal isn't using a gyro, so it's not like the WL Toys 303 where it adjusts itself. It literally just pivots round, so it yaws round, and you have pitch as well, and that is controlled just from the transmitter, so there's no sort of stabilization with this one. And as it's a Wi-Fi camera, there's no SD card or anything like that. All of your video is going to be recorded onto your phone, so they say that it's HD, but it's probably more like a 720 480 capture with a low bit rate, so bear that in mind as well. So another thing I need to talk about is the battery, and at first when I got this I was like, how do you put the battery in? And it's this on the top here, and it has got a screw in it. So what I have done somewhere, I think I brought a screwdriver with me, you have to unscrew this screw, which is a bit of a pain. So I'm going to unscrew that there, and that lifts up. The thing is though, you need this screw. The battery plate doesn't just clip in there, so you do have to screw it in every time, so that's a bit of a pain. Another thing that's a bit of a pain is the battery connector is proprietary. I'm not sure what that is. Looks some kind of JST form, so you do have to use the charger that it comes with, and the charger is literally just a USB lead that plugs into a computer, so I imagine it's going to take a while to charge. This is a 1200 milliamp battery, so 7.4 volts, so 2 cell, and it's got a rating of 30C. So let's push this back into here. It does fit in really snug, so there's no option for modifying it at all, and it will only go in one way, so I'm just gonna push that down there, and then we have the battery plate, and let's see if I can get it in. There we go. So I'm just going to screw that back in there. Okay, so the next thing is the app. So I'm going to turn on my phone here, and the first thing that you're going to have to do is turn on the quad first. So we've got a button on it somewhere, and if you're going to be able to see the lights in this sunshine here, not really, but they're pretty impressive, the lights are. And then turn on the transmitter, and it goes into mode 2. Now you can change this into mode 4, and I think you do that by pressing down this button. So you've got these potentiometers here, and there's a button here, and I think you press it down when you turn it on. Puts the throttle this side, but puts it in mode 4 and not mode 1, which is no good for me. So I'm gonna have to fly in mode 1. So we should be bound to the quad there, and then what you have to do, and you probably can't see this in the sun, but if I go into the Wi-Fi networks available, I can select the CF UFO and connect to it. Sometimes it tells you that there's no internet and you have to press that warning box to yes before it'll actually connect to the app. So I'm connected to that now, so if I go into here, and I think the app is called, yes, HMUFO. So I don't think you're going to be able to see that on the camera. So I'm going to connect to it. There's like a power button there. Now this is interesting. The first thing that you have to do is reverse the screen. The camera is upside down, but it does work and reverse the screen. I was unsure whether I'd like mounted the camera up the wrong way around or something, but no, it's fine. Oh, by the way, it's a narrow field of view, probably 70 degrees as well, so we'll have to check that out. And it does look like it may vibrate a little bit wobbly. There's no vibration dampness, so I am expecting jello, especially on a day like today where it's very sunny. It is windy as well. So let's take a look at some of the controls. So this one here is for taking a photo or video, but I don't think, nah, it doesn't do anything. Because obviously this is the Wi-Fi version. So look at the latency there. It doesn't look too bad, but I am very close into it. Yeah, so photo and video button's not gonna function there. And here we have the flip button. So you need to input like pitch or roll and it will do a flip. This one is rate, so I think we've got, this would be like low rate that it's in. And 2 and 3, yeah. So you've got different rates there. On this windy day, I'm going to be using the high rate because I think it's going to need it. So yeah, these potentiometers actually don't do anything. You think they will control the gimbal, but the gimbal is controlled by the rates of the, what would that be now? I guess the throttle. So that points it down, sort of a little bit jittery. And it doesn't really change that much of the angle. We'll have a look at that in the air, and then you can actually change the yaw. So there you go, that's how much yaw that you've got. It doesn't center, and there's no center button, so I'll leave it in the center and see if we can center it while flying. Yeah, crazy LEDs on this one. So is there anything else that I have missed? Oh yeah, so you've got headless mode on this one, a short press, 1 key return as a long press, and then this one is a takeoff and land button supposedly, so I'll have to check that out. And I think you can arm in the normal way as well. I'm not too sure, so I'll have to check that out. Well, let's look at the app. So the only buttons that I'm interested in on the app really is the record button, video record, and that's about it really. It looks like it's a repurposed app. You've got other settings here like rates and gyro and stuff, but I'm not interested in that. I just want to fly it from the controller. Maybe you can fly it from the phone, but it all seems to be grayed out there. So let's take this thing for a fly and see how it does. I'm just gonna stand up and let's press record. The sun is shining on the screen, so I don't know how much of this you're gonna see. Video recording is on. Let's try that 1 takeoff button, see what happens. What? It seems pretty good. Just gonna stand in the shade so we might be able to see what is on this screen. Wow, loads of power. You know, when you pick this thing up out of the box, it feels incredibly lightweight. And it feels lightweight here as well. I mean, it is really blowing today. Well, that is stable. And even though it's sunny, I can see those lights. Let's bring it into the shade and see if even in the daytime you can see those lights. Getting blown around a lot. It looks like the video has crashed on the phone. I stop it there. It's like the entire app has crashed. Bring it in for a landing. Prop stop. Yeah, the app, I think. No, the props haven't stopped. Have they not? Oh, that's interesting. The props stop, but it's kind of like armed. So how do you like disarm it? This way, maybe? Yeah, so you kind of have to disarm it. Does that rearm it? No, does that arm it? Huh, that was strange. Okay, let's see what's happened with this app. Just looks like it's crashed completely. Can I press play? And maybe it just loses its connection. So I didn't even fly 30 meters away there and it lost its connection. I don't know if any of that recorded. Let's go into the folder there and see if anything got recorded. Local storage, video. Just once. I'm just seeing if this will play here. Does look like it's recorded 45 seconds of it. So at least that when it crashed and lost connection, I didn't lose the video. And it says that I'm still connected to it. So maybe just the app crashed, I don't know. Hopefully that video will play on my computer. Let's go again. HMUFO. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera. Apologies if not. And apologies if there's lots of wind noise on the camera. I do have a windbreak on the camera, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work on a day like today. Let's try again, see if it connects. Yep, it's connected. Reverse and record. So it's recording video. Let's go for another takeoff. Oh, it flies so nice, this thing, so stable. Okay, so what rate am I in now? Let's try the different rates. Try and keep it in close, which is a shame, but it's kind of what you have to do. And then once I've shown all the features, we'll go out a bit and see when it disconnects. So, is that complete high rate? So that's low rate. Still respectable. Still handling this wind even in the low rate, but it's doing it at a struggle. So 2 rates, 3. The third rate is awesome. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's see what happens when we go and do a flip. It's a big aircraft to be doing a flip. You know those motors though, they have heat sinks on them, which is pretty unusual. There's no bearing, it's sort of like a metal sort of washer instead of a bearing. And there's no grease on them either. Let's go up a bit more and let's try, see if a backwards flip will upset it. Oh, I did a forward flip. Still got video this time. Let's try a backflip. It does it. You know, it's programmed to gain height after it's performed the maneuver because it knows that it will lose quite a lot of height. So does a backflip, lifts up and then goes down and lifts up again. Maybe that's the altitude hold doing that. Okay, let's try moving that camera a little bit. So it should still be recording. Move the camera down. Oh no, I've yawed it there. You've got a lot more control on the yaw than you have on the pitch. That yours right the way around. You promise I don't know if it's sort of centered now. And bring it down a bit. See if I can see if it's centered. Not quite. There we go. So let's try messing with the pitch. It's locked up again. Either lost connection or something. Let's stop video recording if it'll let me. So let me stop the video recording. But we have no video. So what do I have to do? Just close it and reopen the app or something? Stay in the same place, please. HUFO. It's holding its position. Says not connecting. So it looks like it's lost connection again. Yeah, it's kind of a big quad to be having Wi-Fi, really. It keeps losing connection. You could say that it was my phone, but this is what's happening. This is the latest version of Android. So let's see. Yeah, it says it's no longer connected. It says that there's no longer a Wi-Fi hotspot, so it actually has disconnected there. Let's see if I can reconnect to it. So it's there. It's just that with my phone, if there's a Wi-Fi hotspot and it disconnects and there's no internet access, it won't reconnect to it. It'll reconnect to something that has internet. So there we go. I have to go back. Saying that there's no internet access, you have to press yes on there. And then let's go back into the app. This is a little bit annoying having to do this. But you know, this is what you are to expect with Wi-Fi. This is why we say, you know, go for a proper FPV, really. So I need to reverse the screen, start recording again. I do hope I'm able to use any of this recording, because it seems that it's still recording, it's just that it's lost connection or something. Okay, go for another takeoff. It arms really easily and it flies really nicely. That altitude hold works nicely. I'm just looking on the screen. There does seem to be a little bit of shallow, but not too much. Okay, let's quickly see if I can mess with the angle of the camera. I could try and take it up a bit, I guess, but probably only about that. I mean, disconnecting at just a few meters, you know. That will vary on your phone. It's quite an old phone. It's got the latest version of Android. Oops. Well, I guess that's the battery running out on it. Let's stop that recording. Hang on a sec. Where are we? Let's stop the video recording. So, you know, it probably had an LVC, but I was too busy trying to show all the features. Let's have a look at the lights in the shade. I don't know, I couldn't tell, but anyway, it's ran out of power, so there you go. So it's pretty dark now. I'm not sure if the GoPro is going to pick any of this up, but let's check out the Christmas lights. It's like a rave. What's it doing? It's sort of flashing there. It's just like a sequence. You can't change any of these LEDs at all. So let's go for a takeoff. And you'll be able to see them better now. Take me to your leader. Oh, that looks pretty cool to me. I don't know how it's going to look on the camera. Nice flip. Yes. I wish the wind would have been this calm when I did the original review. It was blowing about all over the place, but this thing is just so stable. So there you go, that is my review of the JJRC H26WH. I like how it flies, but I'm not too keen on the Wi-Fi aspect of it. It kept disconnecting, and I was trying to get all the features in with one flight. Couldn't quite manage it. But yeah, so there you go. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to buy it. I mean, it's pretty cool. You've got everything all in one. You've got this sort of DJI style phone holder that I didn't mention before, that sort of just clips into there, and I think it takes 4 AA batteries as well. Yeah, but it's toy grade, you know, so you can't expect miracles from it, but it is a pretty neat package. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.